Wow, seriously? Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I wanted to give you guys an idea of what it's like to live with a short range EV in the wintertime. Now, everybody asks me how much range I lose in the wintertime with the smart car. So I wanted to show you guys, this is a real simple experiment. So what I'm doing is, it is right about 30 degrees out Fahrenheit, which is maybe 1 or 2 below Celsius, and have the battery at 100% state of charge. And I'm going to turn on the heat and let it blast for an hour just on high. So worst case scenario, if it's so cold out that you have to have the heat blasting on high for an hour, what would that do for you? Because basically this car in the dead of winter on a full charge, you're only going to probably drive it for an hour at the most anyway. So I want to see how much range you're going to lose in 1 hour of driving with I want to see how much range you lose just by blasting the heat for 1 hour. Another purpose for this test is that with my Tesla, I'm able to turn the heat or air conditioning on while pumping power into the car. And that's a great thing because even though it does cost you a little bit to do that, you're pulling power from the house. With this car, you can't do that. Once you turn on the car, it deactivates charging power into the car. So you are just using power from the battery. So I'd love to figure out a workaround for that, but next to just coming out here with some kind of a heater, external heater to sit in the car, which I think would be dangerous to warm it up. I'm not sure how to remedy that. But so anyway, let's get into it. All right, so what I'm doing today is I'm going to check and see how much power the smart electric drive heater uses. So let's see. All right, shows that we're at 100% charge. So it is 30 degrees Fahrenheit out, 8:17 a.m. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat on. It's on full power. And so I've got it set for 80 degrees and medium fan speed. And I'm going to go ahead and see how far the battery runs down after 1 hour. So we've got 100% state of charge. It's 8:17 a.m. So let's give it a shot and see what we get. I'll check back with you guys in an hour. All right, you can see now it's 9:15 a.m., so 58 minutes, basically an hour. It is 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius out. And when I look at my power gauge now, I'm at right about 75%. So, and I have had the heat cranked. I just turned the fan off because I was sweltering, but I had it cranked full high power, so it wasn't cycling on and off. This is a true worst case scenario. And I had the heat cranked at high power, 80 plus degrees. I had the fan set at the midpoint. And so this is a worst case scenario that running the heat full blast for 1 hour will take, worst case scenario, 25% of your charge. So quite substantial. Now, bear in mind that this is not, when you're not going to be having the heat cranked all the way at 80 for an hour straight. But this is gives you a good idea of how much power it does indeed use. So getting back into the car here, the state of charge now shows 75%. It's 9:17 a.m. It was 9:15 a.m. when I got into the car and turned the heat off. So in 1 hour of cranking the heat full blast, you lose 25. It takes 25% of the charge. Now, we can do some simple math here. This is a 17.5, I think 17.8 kilowatt hour battery. So I don't know how accurate this power gauge is, but so these these numbers are approximate. But so if you divide 17.8, or basically 18 divided by 4, you end up with about 4.5 kilowatts of power. And so it looks like the heater in this car, I mean, I'm sure I could look up the specs, but it used about 4.5 kilowatts of energy within that period of time that it ran heat full blast for an hour. So I did set it all the way up as high as it would go. Now, I don't know if that leaves the heater on full blast, i.e. it could get 120 degrees in here, or if that above 80 is 82 degrees, and it's probably, my guess is this is more than a 4,500 watt heater. It's probably 6,000 watts or something like that. And again, I'm too lazy to look it up. The information's probably out there on the web, but it's probably just cranking up to 82 or whatever degrees and then regulating there. So it probably used a huge amount of power for 20 minutes or whatever, warming up the car, and then was probably cycling the heat on and off to regulate at 80 some degrees in the car. But anyway, worst case scenario, if you have the heat as hot as possible in 1 hour, cranked full blast, in this particular car, you'll lose 25% of your state of charge. And it's good information to know. Now, that's the worst case scenario. So let's say you just want it at 68 degrees. You're already bundled up a little bit anyway, 65, 68 degrees. It's 30 degrees out Fahrenheit, so about 0 Celsius. And you just want to keep it warm enough in the car that you're not going to freeze. You're probably, in an hour of driving, going to use, if I had to guess, more like 15% or something of your range. So it's it's kind of a big deal. I mean, you definitely lose a lot. And so I'm excited to see how this plays out as we use this car through the winter. But I just want to give you guys a baseline of what you can see. Now, bear in mind, I've had people say, well, you know, this tiny battery and this car's rated at 64 miles of range. In the winter, it's 57 miles. In the summer, if you're not on the expressway, it's closer to 80 miles of range. But I've had people say, well, 64 miles of rated range is horrible, and you're not going to charge it to 100% all the time anyway, and so you're only going to get 40 or 50 miles of driving. Oh, well, you got to understand, you don't want to be in this car too long. I mean, this is a great little car, but it is an Econobox. It is a rough ride. So this is a grocery getter. It's a to college and home type of car. This is, and I love this car. It's great, but it is a rough ride. It is a cheap little car. But these things new, I don't really think they're worth it. But I bought this car for $5,000 used. Totally worth it. Totally worth it, because I'm not using any gas. It's almost free to charge. It's so cheap. Super reliable. You're basically not going to have any problems with it. It's just wonderful. Typically, when we take it out for a drive, we're only going to go 20 or 25 miles. Oh, also, it charges pretty quickly. 3.5 hours from 0 to 100%. So what you do with this car, this is like a little fighter leaving the mothership, going out for a sortie and coming back. It is not it's not the mothership, you know. The house is the mothership. This is just going out for a sortie and coming back to replenish. So the way this car is used by our family, we'll charge it to, goodness, I mean, we could charge it to 60% and it would be fine, because we charge it to 60% and we'll run an errand, come home, and we're at 40%. We plug it back in. You know, an hour later, it's at 80%. We drive a couple errands, come home, it's at 60%. We may not even plug it in again. I mean, this car, we go for little trips, and then we come home and plug it in. Now, occasionally my son and I will go out for a 1 hour drive in this car. Well, then I'll charge it up, not to 100%. I don't like doing that to the battery unless I know we need it, but maybe to 90%. And we're going to average about 35 miles an hour or so. It's not 60 mile an hour expressway driving that we typically do, although I've had this car up near 80. And it handles just fine. It's not twitchy like people say. It does catch the wind, though. That's true. But my son and I will go out for an hour of driving to get an hour onto his mile chart for his permit. And I'll charge it to 90%. We'll drive around for an hour, come home at 20% or 15 or 20%. And in an hour of 35, 40-mile-an-hour driving using the heat in the wintertime, it's just fine. I mean, it's just fine. So honestly, I don't really, I never understood short-range EVs until I had this car. Would it make a good only car? I don't know. I mean, if you want to take trips, you're not taking this car. But for the little round town stuff, it is perfectly fine, even in the winter. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your all of your feedback. Go ahead and leave any questions you might have in the comments section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer whatever questions I can. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Take it easy. Oh, if you want to see more videos on the little smart car, let me know. I have been listening. When I did a couple of videos on should I get the Mach-E and that I wasn't too thrilled with the look of the Cybertruck, I lost, not many, but I lost a few subscribers. I look at my analytics page during those videos. And I know that you guys tune in almost 100% for the Tesla. Trust me, if I get another EV, I'm not getting rid of the Tesla, and the Tesla will continue to get 160 miles a day of driving. That is my work vehicle. It's permanently my work vehicle. It's also my product development vehicle. So I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to pile all the miles on it I can. And for now, I've chosen to hold off ordering a Mach-E, and we're going to see what happens. So my channel continues to grow. November brought in quite a bit more than October, and every month it just keeps growing. So we'll see what happens by springtime. And if it's purely the Tesla content that you guys want, I may go ahead and get a Model Y. We'll see. And maybe even a Cybertruck, but that's years away. I'm not thrilled with the look of it, but I got to tell you, saw a couple renderings of it lowered with a spoiler on the back and different wheels, and I'm starting to understand the design language, though it's still not me. I look at it kind of like, I don't know, country music or opera. Those happen to be two music genres that really don't appeal much to me, but I can appreciate the skill that it takes to sing opera, and I can understand why people like country and other genres that I don't. It's just not my taste. So keep an eye on the channel, guys. Keep an eye on the channel. I'm totally open to getting another short-range EV to do some screwing around, a little testing like this, but it seems clear to me that you guys want Tesla content, and Tesla content primarily. And I'm working with a couple of manufacturers to test some of the products that they have coming out, as well as possibly, and don't ask me any questions about this because it would take way too much time to explain and it would spoil the surprise, but possibly come out with a couple of electronic upgrades for the car. Not performance upgrades, but well, I'll leave it there. So I've got a number of things in the works. Nothing may come of it, but a few things may. So anyway, again, way too much talking. So you guys take it easy. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, this should be a good winter. Got a lot of cool winter videos to shoot for you guys. So take it easy now. Bye-bye.